The extraordinary Synod of Bishops is over, but the discussion is still ongoing. Bishops and cardinals voice their opinions in the media as they prepare for next year's synod about the same topic, the family and the church. In Rome's Lateran University, there's a center specialized on family ethics and sexuality, the Pontifical John Paul II Institute for Studies on Marriage and Family. This specialist has recently published a book. The foreword, written by Cardinal Pell, addresses the way of penance. This idea was spread mostly by Cardinal Kasper in a speech during the consistory. It's about preparing civilly divorced and remarried to receive Holy Communion.
Often he cannot return to the first marriage. If this is possible, there should be a reconciliation, but often that's not possible. In the Creed, we say we believe in the forgiveness of sin. If there was this shortcoming, and it has been repented for, is absolution not possible? My question goes through the sacrament of penance, through which we have access to Holy Communion. But penance is the most important thing, repentance for what went wrong, and a new orientation. The new quasi-family or the new partnership must be solid, lived in a Christian way. A time of new orientation, metanoia, would be necessary, not punishing people, but a new orientation, because divorce is always a tragedy.
This is a very curious aspect, maybe the most curious aspect of his speech and his book. So we talk about a way of penance. What does someone need to do penance for? Someone needs to do penance for something he's sorry for. And now one can ask, what is it that, according to Cardinal Kasper, people who are living in a second union should be sorry for? And he says it quite explicitly. He says, people living in a second union, that is, people who have abandoned definitively their spouse and who are living with someone else, need to be sorry for having failed in their first union. Now this, according to him, is a failure that cannot be undone. It's in the past. I'm not satisfied with that proposal because, you know, when the couple on the wedding day, they're promising each other lifelong fidelity, what they are not promising, what they can't promise, is that they will have this very happy marriage. That's a project, that's something they have to work on. And who knows, for some tragic circumstances, one of the marriage partners may find it intolerable to continue living with the other.
But Professor Kampowski sees Kasper's approach to be very limited. He suggests another option.
In particular, we thought that Cardinal Kasper's approach was fundamentally legalistic. Ironically, because he wanted to go beyond, he didn't advocate legalism, but his whole mindset was legalistic. To our mind, how did that spell itself out? It spelled itself out in that, to him, the pastoral solution to problems with marriage and the family was the relaxation of some norms. So the problem is presented by norms, and the solution to these problems is a relaxation of norms. What is that if not a legalistic mindset? We wanted to go beyond that. If couples living in a second union find it impossible for moral reasons, such as, for instance, the care of their common children, find it impossible to separate, that they can be admitted to communion under one condition, or let's say two. The condition is that they abstain from sexual relations, from sexual intimacy. They live together as brother and sister. That's the main condition, and then care would also have to be taken that scandal is avoided.
During a conference for the family last week, the prefect for the doctrine of the faith voiced that the Church does not want to exclude those suffering in marriages with problems. It rather wants to help them.
The bishops and the Pope do care pastorally, along with all clerics, priests and faithful in the Church, for their brothers and sisters who live in a marriage with problems. They have means at their disposal, which have been mentioned before. It is not like this topic is completely new and would need to be discussed controversially. It's not about to show that one is more liberal or the other side is too conservative and backwards.
Oder was darum geht, zu zeigen, ich bin liberaler als der andere, der dann so konservativ rückwärts.